Leon, you should not have stayed on. I'm so glad you came to class today. Today we get to learn about rational exponents. That's right, folks, rational exponents. So right now we're going to do some examples here. I'm going to say b raised to the power of 1 over n will always equal radical b to the first, and the index is going to be whatever number's there. Well, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense unless we get to throw in some numbers. So, Leon, I'm going to give you a shot here. Give me a number, any positive integer, any positive, give me a number. 9. Okay, it says 9. So 9 raised to the power of 1 over, let's just do 1 over 3. You could rewrite that as the cubic root of 9 to the first. That's one way of writing it. Okay? Now, by the way, remember when we did that little chart where we had like 2 to the first, 3 to the first, we made those? 9 can also be rewritten as what? 3 squared, right? Well, what if I took 3 squared and raised that to 1/3? That could be rewritten as 3 to the power of 2/3. Now, this part right here goes to the other part of your journal where you guys wrote down this. b raised to the power of m over n equals the nth root of b to the power of n. So right now I'm going to highlight some things in color here. Here we go. I'm going to highlight the b in blue. Right there. Highlight 3. Then I'm going to highlight the m in red. And then I'm going to highlight the value of n in green. Right. So let's think about how could we write this as a radical. What number is going to go inside right here for the index? Which is what? 3 for this problem, right? 3. So 3 goes right there. All right. What number is our base number, the b value? What number is our base number? 3, so 3, right there. And 3 is raised to the power of what? 2. Right? Okay? So right there, that's another way of writing it. Okay? But what does 3 squared end up becoming anyways? 3 squared ends up becoming a 9. Okay? So, what we're going to do right now today is we're going to learn how to change rational exponents into radical form and change radical form back into rational exponents. So there's one more thing I want you to write. You should have it in your journal already. I want you to write that this right here could also be written as n to whatever the base is, and close the parentheses and put your power on the outside. Okay, so it could be this radical could be on the inside of the parentheses and raise it to the same power. So hopefully you saw the same pattern here. There's the n, there's the b, and there's the power. So right now, let's look at some problems here. Okay? Numbers 1 and 2. It says write each expression in what? In radical form. So let's look at our form here. We've got b to the 1 over n. So that's written as the nth root of b to the first. So how would I convert this rational exponent to a radical form? I'm going to write a radical. What number is going to go in the index?
5.
In the index. So by the way, this is the index. So the index will be 3. What number is going to go right here? 5. And do we have to put the 1 right there?
No.
We don't have to put the 1, but if you wanted to, you could put 5 to the first if you wanted to. But we're going to leave it to that. So this is your final answer written as a radical. Look at number 2. Number 2. What number is going to go right here in this rational exponent? What number is going to go inside of the radical?
6.
5. I'm sorry, as an index. Yes, inside the radical. I apologize. I was thinking of the index. I misstated that. You're right, Luke. The number inside the radical is a 6, and this is going to, what's going to happen to it? It's going to square. So right here, you could write it like this, or if you said it's the 5th root of 36, that's okay too. Okay? So if you did this or this, either one of those I would accept. Okay? You're just trying to change it to radical form. Okay. I think you guys can do number 3. Let's go ahead and look at number 4 right now. Look at number 4. Number 4, this right here is called a power of a power. All right? Whenever you guys have a power to a power, what do you do with those? You don't add them, you multiply. Let's review something. Law of exponents. Here we go. If I say x squared times x to the 3rd, that's x to the 5th. But if I say, what is x squared raised to the power of 3, that becomes x to the power of 6. This is called power of a power, all right? This one, this is the product property where you add the exponents. This is where you don't add them, you multiply them, okay? So right here, we're going to multiply those together. So what do we have? We have basically a 3 over a 1 times a 2 over a 5. So what's this going to become? It's going to become n to the power of what? 6 over 5. That's the first step right there, right? N to the power of 6 over 5. Now that you have this, we need to change that to radical form. So what number is going to go inside of the index? 5. And n is going to be raised to the power of 6. Now, this is correct, but it's not simplified, because in radicals, we have to continue to simplify. How many n's do you need right here? You need 5 n's being multiplied together. You need a group of 5. Do we have a group of 5? Yes, we have a group of 6, which means 1 n can come out. And how many do we have left? 1 inside the radical. This would be your final answer simplified. Now, if this is confusing, if this is a confusing concept, because I care, I'm going to write out what this means. How many times do I have to multiply n to itself? 6 times. I'm so glad this is not like 20. 1, 2, 5, 6. And this index right here lets me know I need to have a group of what? A group of 5, and I only have one group of 5 that can come out. Okay, I only have one group of 5. That's why the n is on the outside. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Moving on to number 5. It says, write each radical using rational exponents. Uh-oh, you've got a square root of 79. Well, what's the index for a square root? That's the index for a square root. And by the way, 79 is raised to the power of 1. So let's think about this, right? Remember, radical n b power of m equals b power of n over n. So let's see if you guys can follow along and change this up. I'm going to highlight something. Here we go. B is going to be in blue. M is going to be in red. N is going to be in green. All right, so now let's change it. How am I going to write this? 79. 1 over 2 is correct. There you go. You got it. Now, in your journal, here's what I want you guys to do. This hopefully will make sense to you. It's kind of a cool progression. Check this out. Does everybody know that the square root of 25 is just equal to a 5? Right? That part you know. Now check this out. If I say, what about the square root of 5 squared? 5 squared is the same as 25, right? Well, what is the index right here? 2. What if I wanted to change this into the form of a rational exponent? This would be 5, and what would I put as my fraction? A 2 over a 2. Well, what is 2 divided by 2 equal to? That's equal to 5 to the first. And what is 5 to the first actually equal to? 5. Okay? See the progression with rational exponents, how you can use rational exponents or you can use radicals. They both give you the same answer. Okay? Let's look at problem number 6. Bless you. Right here, that's a 1. That's a 4. This is pretty easy, isn't it? That's just going to be 153. And what's my fraction going to be? What's my rational exponent? 1 over 4. And you're done. That's pretty easy, right? Now we're going to get a little bit more complicated one. Here we go. Put number 7 into your journal. This will be the last one that we do today in your journal. Does everybody agree that this is 27 to the first power? Okay, so the first thing we do is I'm going to write 27 to the power of 1/3. Then I'm going to write m to the power of 6 over 3. Then I'm going to write n to the power of 4 over 3. Where the heck am I getting these 3's from my what? From my index, okay? Where am I getting my powers? I'm getting my powers from my numbers. Okay? Now you have to ask yourself, so can I simplify this even more? Well, yesterday we reminded ourselves that 27 is actually 3 to the power of 3. Because what is 3 times 3 times 3? 27. And if 3 raised to the power of 3 is also raised to the power of 1/3, what is a third of 3?
1.
I'll write this down. Ready? Put 3 over 3. 3 times 1 over 3 is 3 over 3, and that just becomes 3 to the first. Just good. Now, we have m to the 6 over 3. Wait a second. 3 goes into 6, so what do you think I'm allowed to do? 3 goes to 6 how many times? That's m squared. So we're having m squared. And does 3 go into 4? No, it doesn't. So we just leave it as n, 4/3. So here's your final answer, everybody. The final answer is 3m squared n to the 4/3. Do I have to worry about absolute value in this problem at all? I don't have to worry about absolute value bars because what was my index? My index was odd. It was not even. Okay? All right, go ahead. You can try number 8 on your own, and we will go over that tomorrow.